Count. Okay, so we are here with the one and only Papa. He,
First boot? No, I'm kidding.
he is here in Gamers Paradise 2. So it's been 3 days. Tell me about your experience so far. How about opening night, twist, the players? What's your thoughts?
Let me pull up all the notes that I've taken from the first 2 nights. Because I'll just start there. Because I've taken very detailed notes, if you couldn't tell, and I put them in my chat. Well, first night, I swear, y'all cast the most fucking active people, which like love, thank you. But you know, she gets a little tired. And these people, no one wants to be the first one to jump off the call. So then everyone's up until at least 5 a.m. Ugh. But so like night one, it was cool. I didn't want to like be the first one to like message a ton of people like in the beginning. Like once the call started going for a while and it hit like midnight, I was like, okay, I feel like this is an appropriate time to start messaging people that I haven't already. I think. I don't know. And then Haley like really like stuck to me for some reason. I don't know. I think it's just because I laughed at all her jokes, which like I love her. But like a little too clingy, a little too quickly, and trying to make an alliance a little too quickly. So it was like definitely like the radars going off. But she's like a new player, so I just kind of let it slide because I'm like, she doesn't know. Her best friend is Rachel. I love Rachel. Rachel McKenna, I love you. But like having Rachel as your best friend at like her first org, she was like a little inactive in the beginning and then was messy in her HOA train. Isn't the best way to start a game. So I think she just like needs a little time to like, you know, get warmed up and like realize like there's like a time that you could do enough without doing too much. And I think right now she's doing too much. But yeah. And then Kennedy, I really liked, obviously. I know Kennedy. I literally met her like a week and a half before the game started, 2 weeks maybe. So I'm like, hey, well, met her, saw her again. I met her when I hosted her. Night one, Haley, so it was me, Haley, Sharonica, and Hannah on a call, like the main call, and Romeo kept like bouncing in and out, even though he was asleep. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Well, when Romeo was out, Haley tried to bring up, like, hey, like the four of us should like, you know, not nominate each other in this first like CPU comp. And before like anyone could even like start saying like yes and stuff, like we started to, she was like, but yeah, I'm probably gonna throw it because I don't want to win the first one. And I was like, huh? Because like that's something you keep to yourself, and you don't tell people that you just made a deal with to keep them safe. But then she did better than me, I think, in the HOH comp or the CPU comp. So like, I can't really talk shit about that. But it's just like those little things. Like if she was like a seasoned like that, like I would be like, no. But like she's a newbie, so I know she doesn't understand. So like I just brushed off. I told her that this was gonna be nice. I love you, Haley. If you're listening to this, I am so sorry. I like actually love you, but like just don't hate me. I'm speaking my thoughts. And then Kennedy and Billy brought up making a 4-person chat between me, Kennedy, Billy, and Tyler, because we all know each other. We run in like the same group, which I was down for because, you know, the more allies, the better, especially because half these rounds are like a safety chain or like there's power in numbers or whatever. So cute, love that. And I went over that. So night one, I literally put my chat quotes. Sean and Jackie, I know are married, so I'm waiting for them to say something because I'm sure as hell not gonna bring that up. I'm like, Miss Jackie, when are you gonna say something? Because I am not going to, you know, bring it up first to anyone. The next day I brought it up to Kennedy, but I felt like it was appropriate. She gave me information about like the other alliance that Phyllis made that we'll get into. But like I was like, this is appropriate. And I was like, she could figure it out. She's smart enough. Um, but like, I guess I wasn't the first one that said something, because like Autumn also mentioned that people like knew that they were dating or married, but I'll get into that. So yeah. And then yesterday I woke up in an alliance chat that Phyllis made that everyone was like, what the fuck? No one has to be here. And then Kennedy told me that she was in one made by Phyllis. And then we compared notes, and then we realized the 5 people that were left out, and we assumed that they were in a third chat, but now we know that they're not. I'm scrolling to my notes for today. Please hold. Or for yesterday. Please hold. I went power hunting all day yesterday. And listen, I'm not the brightest, but I feel like I'm pretty, pretty savvy when it comes to powers, because, as a host, you have to hide your own. But I've never done it on Discord, so I'm like, what do I do? So I said, what would I do? I would go on the pro board and start typing all the terminology. All those things are gonna start to be my my clues, and nope, none of them worked. Went over to the 2 chats. I don't know. Yesterday was just like a mess with just like the 2 chats, but like no one knew about them except for like me and Kennedy. And then like Kennedy went to Sharonica and like pushed it to her. Like, and was trying to see if there was a third chat, but I guess like not. And then Sharonica was like, what the fuck? But I think it's good, because I think a lot of people trust me, which is like actually really bad. Because I'm gonna get caught up like I always do early in the game. But she had told me that Kennedy came to her and was like leaking the alliance. So it's good that Sharonica trusts me in telling me that. And it also shows that she doesn't realize that me and Kennedy are close. But then this morning I woke up, I swear, it's like something every morning. And if I wake up tomorrow morning and it's something else, I'm gonna cry. But then I woke up today and the chat got exposed, or the chats got exposed by Sharonica in the main chat. Sorry, I read a message. I woke up today and Sharonica exposed the 2 chats in the main chat. So I thought that was funny, but then I was like, oh my God, this is gonna come back on me, because I was like, I was one of the people that told her about the chats. But then she didn't name drop anyone, so I was like, thank you. So yeah, that got out there, and that really got the game started today. Like, people were more open to like talk about it, which was nice. And I could freely talk to the other people in the other chat about it, because like I knew that they were in it. I just couldn't confront them about it yet, because I didn't want to be that person. Because like what I'm trying to do this game is pretty much, if you're like not my main person, which I think I'm gonna claim Kennedy as my main person for now. I'm like not gonna give I'm not gonna give out a ton of information. Like, I'm just gonna give out information that like they should already know. And like maybe one new piece of information, so like they think they could trust me. But yeah, so that started off the game today. And then Autumn called me, which I was happy. I keep calling her Amber. I'm so sorry. But we called for a little bit before I went to work today. And we were just kind of going over people, and we had like the same thoughts on people and all this stuff. And then she brought up to me that she is roommates with Taisha, which I figured she knew Taisha in a sense of like IRL, because I obviously stalked everyone's like Facebooks and shit before like day 2, because I was like, I want to know a little sense of these people. And I saw that Taisha was her only mutual friend, so it was like obviously she knows her from like IRL. She's like, oh yeah, like I know Taisha, blah, 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 blah. And then she goes, I actually live in the same house as her. And I was like, well, that's good, because Taisha loves me. So hope she said good things about me. I know she's probably in the VL, but if you're watching, hey queen. So yeah, then we talked about that. And then she brought up the fact that people had the same last name. So that made me feel good, because I am not the one that like brought it up to her. So I at least knew that it was going out there from somewhere else, whether that be Kennedy telling other people and then it coming back around. But I mean, that just showed that Autumn trusts me with a little bit of information. And I know it's like not huge information, but it's still like something. And like I'd rather someone give me like literally nothing, like a little information that's like literally nothing, um, like instead of actually just nothing. Um, but like we like the same people. And I think like she's gonna be like the social, like the sneaky social one. And then the only other big main thing today that happened was I talked to Jackie a lot more today because of the whole her not being included in the chats. And since they got blown up, she kind of felt like, oh my god, like am I on the bottom? Kind of like how Sharonica was feeling, where it's like, oh my god, am I a target because I'm not in either chat? And like I was kind of like reassuring her about it, and then we were going back and forth, kind of talking about like how we really need to work together, and like we really want to work with Billy. And she's like, I know that you know about me and Sean because like perception, and like yes and no. Um, I definitely like could tell, but then like I always look at last names now because like this is the third time I'm playing with a married couple. So after your first two times, you definitely start looking harder into that. But um, she's like, I really trust you and I trust Billy. Like I know you two the most. Like I really want to like work with you guys. I feel like we could be good. Um, so we have a 4-person chat, which in retrospect is amazing because fucking Sean won CPU. So I'm safe. If you would have told me that Sean was CPU before that chat was made, I would have been shitting myself because I would have thought that I was a potential nominee. Because I did not talk to Sean a ton. But he also brought up to me, like, obviously, you know about me and Jackie before the chat was made. And I told him, I was like, I am not going to tell anyone. I was like, my lips are sealed. It's not my business to share. I was like, but please know that it's already out there. And people are like, if you look at the last names, two people are definitely playing together. So I'm not exposing who told me, but I'm also letting him know, like, hey, that's already out there. So yeah. Oh, I guess the only other thing with Jackie is like she said supposedly like my name came up, but then like also hers and like all this stuff. And I think it was just from Phyllis. So like it was probably Phyllis just being a mess. So like I'm trying not to look too much into it because like why waste my time? I feel like I'm insulating myself enough to where if I do go up, I will be okay. But I'm just afraid for like one of the social rounds where it's like the safety chain or something. And I have to choose between like the two groups I'm in, Haley, Autumn. Like I'm gonna be kind of fucked, but like also I don't want to be like if I'm first pick, honestly, like if I win the comp and I get to pick someone first, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna pick whoever was second place in the comp and hope to God it was like Kennedy or Billy or Tyler or Jackie or Sean. Because Miss Haley, you could be picked by someone else. Because I need to save the people that I think will be here a little longer than you in that round. So they know that I'm actually with them. So yeah, any questions?
Yes, we actually have a question from the viewers lounge.
Oh my God, they love me.
So a viewer asks, who do you not see yourself working with in the game?
King, Phyllis. Do I need to continue?
Anyone else?
No. So King like really hasn't spoken. He's talked to me more in the last 20 minutes before I got on this call than the last 2.5 days. So if that says something, there you go. I think I have maybe 8 messages with him total, like 8 from myself and 8 from him. And then Phyllis was just being a mess. So I liked her night one, like don't get me wrong, but like then she did all that chat shit and it was just like too much. And I'm like, what are you doing? And also I've heard that Phyllis is friends with Constance. And Constance, I know that you're not going to watch this because you don't like me, but I don't understand why you don't like me. So if Phyllis going fulfills my fantasy of Constance's friend going home, then I'm living for that. So that was really, really rude, but oh well. Yeah, just those two.
Perfect. I'm sending that off to them.
Woo!
not the whole Constance part, don't worry. But but they do get these recordings, so they'll probably hear
That's
that.
fine. I talk shit to where people could hear it. I don't care. That's why I said it on a recording and not on a non-recorded line.
um, oh, and then I guess I do have another question. So, how do you think how do you think the typings is going to play a factor into like your votes and how the game's going to play? Do you think it's going to be a big issue, or what's your thoughts?
I think I was screeching so loud, my mom told me to shut up. Um, I think right now I know potentially where three of my six are. Um, so that's good. And they're honestly kind of on people that like I'm talking to and I'm like okay with right now. So that's good. So Kennedy is Moon, she told me. Um, and her vote is times two on me. So I like really need to keep her close because like um I don't want her to use like the double vote on me basically. Um, and then Garrett, his my vote is only half on him because he's love. Supposedly he said that in the call. Um, Kennedy told me that, so I just wrote it down. If he's not, well, I don't give a shit. Like I'm not trying to think too far into it. And then Sharonica said that she was like some sort of like flower or something. Um, and her vote would only be half on me, which is like whatever. And then Billy told me today that he was forced. So it's like nothing on both ends. So it's just normal between us. So I'm not trying to like think too far into it, but like I'm definitely like, if someone wants to tell me their shit, like I'll definitely like, thank you. But yeah.
Let me see. And I don't think, let me double check, but yeah, I'm pretty sure. So you didn't walk away with a power. So how are you feeling about like do you know where any powers are?
Oh, I do.
And are you worried that they're going to be used against you?
Um, so I know that Kennedy found the power that was hidden in the bot. Um, so I know where that was. And I don't think it'll be used against me because we called one on one after we were on call with like me, her, and Tyler. And she's like, she's like, I really would have preferred if it stayed just between us. Because I don't like when people know about like powers. She's like, so that's already way too many people, but like, uh, we even talked about it today because we're like, when's like a good time to use it if we need to, and we're like, obviously the later the better because if it could save us both later on, like that could be the difference between like both of us making super late game or both of us barely making jury. But then other than that, I really don't know about the other powers, nor do I really care because I feel like a lot of them are just like the person like either gets to just like set someone out or like they get to like save a nom or something or make the challenge like make the round reset or something. It's just like stuff like that. So that's what I'm assuming just based off reading the wiki. So I'm like not super worried. Like if I sat here and worried about the powers all day, every day, like my life would be consumed by it. Um, so yeah.
And what's your what's your thoughts on the levels and like now that you know a retro just happened, is there a specific level that you're like dreading to come up, or are they all pretty even for you?
The coin one, what is it called? Hold on. The gotcha one, I don't know. Like my luck is the worst. Like I could literally have, oh my god, hold on, wait. Uh Stronic was like, I'm gonna call you. And I'm like, oh my god, girl, wait, hold on. My luck is like the worst. So like even if I only have one fucking slot on the wheel, I feel like I would get picked. Um, which like granted, I guess if it's done earlier and like I don't know, because like that's the round that like the heavy hitters are gonna go on the block somehow. Uh, excuse me. I don't understand racing whatsoever, so I'm not even worried about it. Kennedy's like, I have a plan if we have to do it. I'm like, if you have a plan, I will sheep you that round. Thank you. Um, Sandbox. The house noms. I kind of want to do. Well, yeah. Is that everyone deciding? Two fellow gamers. Yeah. I think I want Sandbox to happen next because I think it will be easy to put up Tasha, Garrett, and King. I think if we get those three names as the top three names, it'll be good because I would rather get one of those out of the way now before lines start actually like forming. Um, and I wanted simulation this first round because I wanted to see who wanted to go for power, but everyone's like, let's just do retro. And I'm like, and then the safety chain I don't give a fuck about because I'm in like 400 alliances already. So one is bound to pick me.
I was trying to unmute. How do you feel though if you get picked early? How are you going to decide who to pick on the chain?
So I said this. I said this on call with Billy. I said I'm going to make everyone pick a number one through however many people are left, and I'm gonna randomize a number live on call. But no, honestly, if so, let's say Tyler gets it first, like he wins the challenge and he gets to start the chain, and he picks Billy. I told Billy to pick Kennedy and then pick me, so then we can pick our other alliance because like me and Billy are in like the two alliances together. But I'm like, Billy, I'm like, if you get it and then like you give it to Kennedy and then Kennedy picks me before Tyler, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do because I need to save. I'm like looking at it and like, if I don't pick Tyler, he's gonna think that I don't trust him. And then if I pick like Jackie or Sean, like obviously they're just gonna pick each other. And people are gonna be like, why did he do that? Like he knows that they're like two. So like I'm just hoping either one of my alliances get picked first, uh, and then it comes down to me, so then I could like merge it into my next alliance. Or I hope I'm the fourth person from the bottom, so then everyone feels like they have to pick me, and then I won't be in the challenge and I won't go up.
Awesome. Well, that's all I got for you. You have anything else you want to leave us off with?
No.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. You're lucky you caught me right before I was turning off the computer. So
Child, don't play. I told y'all earlier I was gonna do a confessional.
you did. You're right.
And
You're
y'all
right.
were so happy. You're like, oh my god, yay, a live confessional. And then Sandy's ass goes to bed early. I
He
said, it's
did.
not even. I was like, it's not even midnight, and you're going to bed.
Oh, he is. I think we're putting a cap on how late y'all can do lives though. So,
Wow.
but I'm usually up late. I'm up later. You know, I'm on the West Coast, so you're lucky. It's only 11 here.
But thanks.
That's all I got for you. Thanks so much, Papa. I will talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.